Welcome to X to Interact.
X to Interact.
X to Interact.
Welcome to episode 43 of X to Interact. I'm your host, Gaff, and with me today is Sam, Eric, and our special guest from PixelPlay, Kaylan. Today, we're going to talk about all the games we've been playing, and then we're going to move on to our special topic, which is our official performance review of the next-gen consoles, as in Xbox Series X/S and the PlayStation 5. Sorry, Nintendo, you're in the gifted school. You don't get to be part of this. But
You're old news, Nintendo. Get out of here.
Yeah, honestly.
We're gonna give the next gen consoles a grade in a variety of categories, and then we'll talk about their overall grade later. But for now, we're gonna talk about what games we've been playing in a segment that Steven actually named. He's gonna call Crossplay, which I think that's a good name. We're gonna defer to our guests first. So, Kaylan from PixelPlay, why don't you tell us what kind of games you've been playing?
Yeah, sure, no problem. So right now, I actually literally just turned it off. I've been playing for the last week or so a little game called Death's Door. I'm kind of in a
Yes.
right.
Hell
right.
yeah.
So I'm in a holding pattern until Horizon comes out. So I'm just kind of looking for something that I can play real quick without having to burn me out on that open world experience. And holy crap, Death's Door is fantastic. That game is just hitting a sweet spot. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it. I'm not typically a huge indie guy. I'm not playing a lot of indie games, but this one just hits that perfect sweet spot. I kind of would say describe it as a mixture of Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past meets God of War 2018, in the sense that you've got that open world top down. You've got challenges and puzzles. You need to unlock different items, go to different dungeons. Very much a Zelda-like experience, but a sort of, I don't want to call it a Dark Souls, and this is why I'm going a God of War route. You've got that sort of hit, dodge, get out. You can do heavy attacks. You can do light attacks. It's simple, but it's, requires a little bit of skill. It's just a fantastic game. I'm loving it. The art direction is really cool. The music is very zen. It's absolutely great. Like, I think I paid like $25 for it, and it is worth every penny. It's really cool. Graphic design is awesome.
Wait, bro.
Gameplay's fun. I'm just hooked.
You paid for it?
You're not playing on Game Pass?
Game Pass.
I'm a Sony pony. I gotta pay for my games.
Oh, all right.
But you don't have to.
Respect.
You don't have to.
Respect for being a Sony pony,
I'm self-identified. I'll be there. I'll admit it. No, so yeah, I had some gift card money from Christmas. I was like, hey, I'll give it a shot. And I know there's getting a lot of hype. I think that game is getting more and more traction. And, as more people talk about it, I know some people talked about it as possible game of the year. It totally deserves all the praise that it is getting. I have few, if any, faults with that game. So yeah, totally loving it.
What's the last boss you fought?
So I've done the first two. I know there's like that one introductory tutorial one. Yeah. I am one boss away, and I'm just basically getting there before I think the game wraps up. I imagine there's going to be something that they haven't sold, but the premise of the game is you start out and there's three main bosses you have to go through. And I've done two of the three, but I've been thoroughly exploring. I've gotten all the shrines, I've gotten all the upgrades. So I'm taking my time. I'm thoroughly going through and exploring the game as well. Like, it really encourages exploration. And yeah, I'm typically not someone who's down for that, but this game is absolutely perfect. So yeah. That's what I'm playing.
Thank you for that, Kaylan. Sam, what are you playing now that you finished all the Dragon Age?
Oh, thank God. So I'm finally done with Dragon Age. That was great. I finished that last Sunday after the podcast. Then I started Horizon Zero Dawn.
Nice.
Because I'm trying to just play through that real quick, get the story.
It's still good?
It's still okay.
Okay.
As I say, it's not my favorite PS4 game. I put it on story mode so that it's really easy, just so I can get through real fast. And let me tell you, much better on story mode than any other difficulty, because you can just one-shot things and like be in stealth the whole time. And that game is good when I'm only in stealth. The moment I get out of stealth, it's clunky, it's slow, I don't like it. And just you roll into a rock and you get fucking bumped. It's so clunky. The melee combat.
I don't think you're supposed to be doing the melee combat. It's all about the range with the archery.
Well, yeah. Even that when I'm out of stealth, I just like, I don't know. I feel like the aiming is so slow for how fast paced the combat can be. And like you're trying to hit these specific parts, and don't even get me started on the flying enemies. I mean, that's just a video game problem in general. They should just
You gotta
ban
tie
those.
them down, man.
They
You
should
gotta tie
Yeah,
them
time
down.
down.
Yeah, I know, but they should just
Use the
ban.
tether.
They should just ban those. All right, just no flying enemies in any video games ever again, and I will be perfectly content with that. There was some. Oh, I started the Pathless. I feel like I'm pretty close to beating that. It's a pretty short game, pretty sure. So, playing that. I think that's it. Oh, I played Tabletop Simulator. Me and Jacob were playing that the other day. Played Monopoly. I was absolutely dominating his ass.
Wait, so let's go back. You have Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah.
You play basically any game ever created, and you chose Monopoly?
All right. Why does everybody
Oh my
hate
God.
Monopoly?
I'm not hating Monopoly. I'm just saying if someone said to you, you have the
Monopoly
vast
has
array
its own platforms. It has its own game. You know,
I'm just
but
saying you have
Tabletop
the
Simulator.
vast library of
Yeah.
of board gaming, which is massive, and you're like, no, let's choose Monopoly.
The most
Yeah.
vanilla of board games.
I like Monopoly. Fuck
I'm looking on
off.
Steam right
No,
now.
I like
Monopoly is
I like Monopoly too.
$5.99.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
but you can only play Monopoly. All right.
So yeah, how was Monopoly? Did you
That's
get?
all you played, though.
What was your strategy? Did you get
Well,
buy all
so
the blues?
far, what?
Blues
The
and
strategy?
oranges. Yeah.
What was
What
it?
was strategy?
I didn't need one. He was very bad at it, so
Okay.
I was just kind
How
of
long did it
buying,
take you?
buying what I landed on. We didn't finish because I ended up flipping the table because it was like
No, but
3 a.m.
That's a proper way to finish. That's a
We
proper way to
we
finish
started the
Monopoly.
game pretty late, and
Fair mistake. Oh, is that why you're up at 5 a.m.? Yeah.
no, that was last night. That was a couple nights ago that we played.
Oh,
It was
okay.
Friday night that we played, not last night. So yeah, Tabletop Simulator. I played something else with him, but I just can't remember what we played together.
Probably sorry, given the fact that it's game choices.
I don't think so. It wasn't
Candyland.
sorry. Yo, oh my god. Yo, who wants to play some Candyland on Tabletop Simulator at some point?
Hey, I bought Tabletop
Fuck
Simulator
yeah.
some years ago, and I still have it in my Steam library.
This
So
is
there's
like having a Lamborghini and you're just doing 20 kilometers an hour.
You know,
Using the
sometimes,
machine to its full potential.
sometimes you gotta take it slow, all right?
Eric, what have you been playing? What
that.
have
You
you been
know,
playing?
I've been playing this little indie game called Pokemon Legends Arceus. You know,
Never heard of it.
Heck, yeah, dude. Tell me all about it because I'm not buying it because I'm poor. But tell me all about it.
so I was gonna wait on reviews for this one, but then all the leaked stuff, like leaked copies, are going around, and people are like basically like giving their own mini reviews. And excuse me, this game pretty good so far. I'm liking it. Definitely the change the Pokemon game series needed because just a whole lot can get into. First of all, like it's not open world; it's like more open area ish, but like it's very exploratory heavy. I guess is how I know it. I don't know if exploratory is even a word, but there you go.
It's a word. Don't worry.
It's a word?
It
Okay,
is.
there you
It
go.
is now.
It is now. So yeah, like in the first hour, it's a little hand-holded, a lot of dialogue, but after that, they kind of let you go do whatever the hell you want. There's like main story missions you can do, but like I have like 17 hours so far, and like I've done not a lot of story missions. I've been going around just catching Pokemon, trying to fill up the Pokedex, and it's good. I like how you can either just throw the Pokeball straight at the Pokemon, and like you'll have a chance of catching them. It's not always guaranteed, but you don't have to go into battle to catch Pokemon, and I like that. But if they see you, they're gonna get mad, and you have to go into battle. And when they do, you just throw your Pokemon at them, and it goes instantly into battle. There's like no loading screen, no transition, nothing. You're just in the
Oh, that
battle
sounds
straight
awesome.
there.
That's cool.
And battles are quick. Yeah, they're quick, and I don't want to say easy because this game's actually kind of difficult at times. But they're super quick. You're in and you're out. When you get XP, it's just you leave the battle, and your XP is on the left side of the screen, and you can keep going whatever you want. You can move around. You can move your character around in battle if you want. It's little things like it's not important, but it's like a little like detail I like. There.
So
Go ahead. Yeah.
a lot. You played Monster Hunter, and people have made the comparison between this game and Monster Hunter before. Do you feel the comparison?
I think the only comparison that I've seen so far was that is they give you like your main hub, which is like the village you're in, where you go there to stock up on your supplies and stuff. You can take like side quests and stuff. That's where your main mission's at. And after you get all that and you're done, you head out to the field. And then the fields are like kind of like Monster Hunter-ish as well, where you pick which zone you want to go to, and then you're in that zone, and that zone is the open area. It's not open world like we first saw it when the trailer was happening. It's just more the open areas like that. I've unlocked like 2 open areas so far, because like I said, I've been mainly focusing on filling my Pokedex right now. And the way progression works in this game is like a little different than past games as well. There's no gyms, so the way that you like basically command high level Pokemon is that the more Pokedex entries you fill up, you get like points towards like ranks. And there's like 10 ranks I see so far at least. I'm already at like rank 5. I can already command Pokemon up to level 80. And I've only just done the second. I'm only up to the second area, so there's that. Let me see what else. Oh yeah, there are these huge Pokemon in the wild called Alpha Pokemon, and they're like basically like gigantic versions of Pokemon with red eyes, and they are higher leveled. Like in the first open area, there's like a Ponyta, or not a Ponyta, a Rapidash that's like level 40. And you can try and catch it early if you want, but like if they see you and you get into battle with it, you're gonna have a tough time because they can one shot your Pokemon easily, very easily. But what I like to do is that so what you can do is like you also have berries that you can use to throw a Pokemon to distract them and eat them, and then you can sneak up behind them and throw a Pokeball at them. And if you catch them without battling them, it's the greatest thing ever.
Nice. Which I assume
it's so
you've done.
satisfying.
Yeah. How's the story? Because I feel like no one has really talked about the story and the previews.
The story, I think, is pretty interesting so far. So I'm a fanboy of the Gen 4 Pokemon. You know, the Sinnoh region. That's the one I've played the most, Diamond and Pearl. And so I kind of like seeing like the ancient Sinnoh region and like how all this lore is being thrown around. There's like music callbacks too. Like when I hear like music from like the original game, I get like so nostalgic about it.
Wait, Eric, you gotta feed me. What's a bit of lore tidbit that you can give me?
So
I'm also a Diamond and Pearl fan.
Here's an easy one. You know, in Diamond and Pearl, the Pokedex entry for Drifloon is like, oh, it carries away children.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a mission where you're like basically going to like help save a kid from a Drifloon, and like you're basically like, it's basically like making the Pokedex entry for you. You're like seeing the Drifloon won't leave the kid alone, but the kid's like, oh no, he just wanted to play. And you're like, huh. And you're just thinking about that. And then you report it to the guard and like, huh, we should probably station more guards around that area. We found it. There's a lot of interesting stuff.
That's awesome. But what about like plot? Like
plot wise
what's the goal here?
So it's not a spoiler. It's like in the first 5 minutes of the game. You wake up like in this like black void or whatever, and Arceus is talking to you. So and like you have like a modern phone with you, and your character has like just like normal shorts and sure, like they're from our time. And then so what I'm assuming is that Arceus somehow like plucks you from your time and sends you back in time. And so like everyone's like talking about how you fell from the sky or whatever, and like how you have this weird phone looking thing, and how there's like a whole bunch of weird shit going on in the world. Like you have these 2 clans, the Diamond and Pearl clan, and they worship their own god that they call the Almighty Sinnoh, and one thinks that Almighty Sinnoh is the ruler of time, and the other one thinks it's about space, you know, hinting out Dialga and Palkia.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of interesting to see how like they're trying to not go to war, like not be in conflict with each other, but there are points where you need to like intervene and stuff, because like they have these things called noble Pokemon, which are basically like the bosses, I guess, where they're like it's like kind of like, I don't want to say gods, like what's another word for it? Like they worship these Pokemon, and they're getting friends. What was that?
Deities?
Something like that, I guess, yeah. Where they worship these like special Pokemon, but they've gone crazy because a certain, I guess like some lightning hit them from the sky. So they're thinking that the other clan's god has tempered with their Pokemon. So it's interesting. It's hard for me to explain because Pokemon doesn't have the deepest lore.
Wow, theology in Pokemon.
But it's pretty cool seeing it, especially as a Diamond and Pearl fanboy. Like I'm saying, like I was disappointed with Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, the remakes. I was like, oh, this is what we get for the remakes of these games I wanted for a long time. But now seeing that we got this, I kind of like prefer this game. I was like, okay, like we'll have the remakes just as a traditional thing we always do, but for new stuff, we'll have this game. I enjoy that. It reminds me of Black and White 2, where instead of a third version, they did a sequel game for that.
Yeah.
And I kind of like how they explore more of the region, you know, like at a different time period.
I really hope as people continue to finish Arceus that we get. I hope they expand a lot on like the lore of Sinnoh and all the legendaries and give some backstory. Like I hope Giratina plays into it somehow. And I also hope if Nintendo Game Freak is smart at all, they'll have some integration between Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and Arceus.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where after this game where they go for the Pokemon series after this, because I do think like this is one of the best Pokemon games they made to date. Like even the reviews like say like up there like in the more higher rated games, and so I'm interested to see like if they do a Gen 9 this year to see if they take lessons from Arceus or if they're gonna do like a whole different series. Like the Pokemon Legends is now its own sub series, so definitely interested to see that because. Graphics aside, I think the graphics are fine, and it's not the best thing ever. The Switch can definitely put out better graphics, but gameplay wise, I think it's there so far.
Well, let's get the graphics don't bother you because it seems to have bothered everyone else.
I think they're fine. I mean, obviously they're not the best. I'm just more happy that it holds a steady frame rate. Because like if the frame was constantly dipping, like I said before, like SMT5, like the frame rate's all over the place of that game. I couldn't finish it because it's so inconsistent. This game has a more steadier frame rate, and I think that's more important for me personally.
Now, I know Sam doesn't care about Pokemon whatsoever, but Kaylan, what about you? What does Pokemon do for you?
So Pokemon, when I was a kid, I was like part of the like original Red and Blue. I had the Pokemon Blue, and to be honest, that was kind of my foray. I did Pokemon Silver, but it didn't grasp me as much as the original ones. Yeah, I know it's not a popular opinion, but I kind of fell out of it after like I did the first gen stuff, and then once they came out with like second gen, I kind of fell out and
that fast. Wow.
I fell out pretty fast. But I mean, like I like them, and I have no qualms against them, but they just I was original like OG Pokemon, and then the whole new ones I wasn't a big fan of, and then it kind of just fell off for me. So I don't know. I kind of, it's cool seeing everyone talk about this and listen to people say, and I'm glad that people are enjoying it. But yeah, it doesn't move the needle for me. I'm still waiting for the Pokemon Pinball remaster to come out. So
yeah.
You know, the best Pokemon game.
I'm
just
just
Pokemon
glad
Snap out. They can move on to pinball.
I'm just glad nobody picked this for the Fantasy Critic.
Missed opportunity.
Because I wasn't gonna pick it. So
I mean, I was kind of worried about it because the trailers that they have doesn't do this game justice. I would say
the marketing was not
good,
optimal.
No, not at all.
The marketing was those leaked games. That's what it was.
Yeah, exactly.
Leaked
That's what got
games.
After those leaks happened, I was like, oh, this actually seems a lot more interesting than what the trailer showed.
Imagine that. I'm just being.
Yeah.
Then it gets an 85 on OpenCritic, and
oh yeah,
goddamn.
Oh yeah, and Gaff, one more thing about like the lore, I guess. You can like tell like who's like the ancestors in like this game because they have like the same hairstyle as people in Diamond and Pearl. Like Cynthia's ancestor is like some dude who's like in a merchant trading company. And he's like the same bang or whatever. I'm like, you're Cynthia's ancestor. It's easy to know.
Nice.
Also, he's suspicious because he talks to you after a lot of major things happen. I'm like, what do you know?
Nice. Is there a Professor Rowan ancestry too?
Yeah, he has like the same like hairstyle and the mustache. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, you're this guy's ancestor.
No one ever changes in the Pokemon universe, no matter.
No, you can just like
later.
The hairstyles are a lot of the same. Is what I'm saying.
Just stagnant. Is Pokemon the only thing you've been playing this past week?
Just that and some more Master Duel.
Oh, we don't have to go back into
that. I'm just gonna quick on that. I made a freaking Galaxy Eyes deck, and let me tell you, I still need to work on it a little bit, but I got one of my attack points from one of my monsters up to like 11k, and me and my friend were like just dueling, messing around, and that happened. and I killed him in one turn. I was like, holy shit.
Nice. I still need to duel you. We still need to duel.
Yeah, I know.
I really want to do that. So yeah, moving on from Pokemon to another childhood property that Kaylan I don't care about. Yu-Gi-Oh! I've been playing a ton of Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm stuck in Plat 5 and I hate it because once you're in Platinum and ranked, everyone's just super competitive and they hate fun. And I'm not trying to lose, but I'm losing, but I'm not getting demoted to gold. And I really want to go back to gold where I can have some fun again.
Yeah, I've stayed away from ranked. I'm not touching that for a while.
But Eric, I think both of us have definitely hit the point where the flow of gems have extremely dried up, and because Kaylan, it's a free to play game, and you know how free to play games they'll just shower you with currency in the beginning to hook you in, to really sink your teeth in, and then they'll just drip feed you after that, therefore enticing you to spend some money to get more to hit your fix.
Yep.
That's the same case with this game.
That's how Heron works too.
Also,
What?
did you see-
How it works?
Did you see the mobile version like released internationally? It's just not in the
Yeah,
US apparently or Canada,
Yeah.
I assume.
and apparently it eats your battery like a mofo.
Yeah, so I assume this game is not optimized well because on the Switch it doesn't run well either.
Nope.
Only like on PC and in the next gen consoles where it seems to run well.
So I got a ton of gems and I'm running them because my assumption is that they're gonna update the game with the newest real life Yu-Gi-Oh sets, and there are cards in there that they want to have and build a deck around. So I'm gonna wait for that eventual update. But yeah, I'm just dueling people online, getting my ass handed to me, and occasionally pulling off a win. Other than that, Halo, Kaylan, which you also should know that I'm the only Halo fanboy here. Halo Infinite is my life. I play it. Well, ever since I finished the Battle Pass, I haven't been playing it as much. But before that, I would play it every single day, leveling up.
Nice.
Currently there's an event, and I finished that event. Got all the exclusive cosmetic items. Now I'm just goofing around. But yeah, I love Halo. Halo's my life. Microsoft's my life, really. And I guess that wraps up crossplay. Thank you everyone for sharing what you've been playing over this past week. So now we can officially move on to our main topic of this week. And that is our next gen report card. So I'm going to read off the script that Steven has written here. RIP Steven. He's not dead. His internet has gone away.
I sabotaged his internet so I could take over the spot and
You-
know that I'm replacing him.
Yeah. Okay, so we are grading first party performance. Here's how this will work. There are 3 categories per first party company. I'll go through each category, and then I want each of you to give me a letter grade. This will be an average based system, meaning if someone gets 4 C's and 1 B is overall a C and it's just middle of the ground. Given that there are 4 of us. So actually, I don't know about this part, but yeah, there are 4 of us. Each of us will say our piece on the category, and then you'll say your letter grade, and then we'll talk about it. And then we'll tally the scores, and then we'll make our definitive report cards to send home to the moms and dads. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that sounds
PlayStation
like Steven.
of PlayStation and Xbox.
Dear Mr. and Mrs. PlayStation.
Dear Phil Spencer, do better.
Here's my opinion of your past year, as if you care. I get what Steven's going about. Okay, so I think the 4 of us, we should take a couple of minutes, and I'll fill the air of silence. Take a couple of minutes, write down your individual grades for the individual categories, and then we'll come out and talk about it. I think that's what Steven is getting at.
I already got them.
Okay, so Kaylan, Eric,
Kaylan.
in case you don't
We can go
know,
on the fly.
the categories are 1, the games, 2, the user experience, i.e., software updates, ease of use. I'm thinking like quick resume, right, for Xbox, or let's say how trophies are accessed in PlayStation. Um, Number 3, the hardware support. Can be any hardware release, including accessories. And you know what? I'm gonna put in an honorary 4th category as the host. I'm making an executive decision.
Can he do that?
I'm gonna include the category of just baller news that has surrounded these companies. Like
All right.
Microsoft making
Yeah,
acquisition.
where's this gonna go?
Yeah. I wonder why this category is a thing.
Okay, I'm gonna just give you like a couple minutes, quickly make up your thoughts, and then we'll come out and discuss it later on.
Are we doing minuses and pluses, or is it strictly just letter grades?
You can give it a minus or plus.
Okay, cool. I need that wiggle room.
I didn't do minuses or pluses. That's for cowards who can't make decisions.
I stand by that.
Kayla,
Oh my god! What is it now?
since you're also Canadian and also in Ontario, you're having a report card after like the letter grade for like your classes and stuff.
Mhm.
Like in elementary school, you get like the learning objectives or something. It's
Yep.
like perseverance, teamwork, communication, and then be like needs improvement.
Yep.
Excellent.
Oh, I remember the needs improvement a lot.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look up a list of all the PS5 games, and holy shit, this website I'm on has so many ads. Let me just back out of there.
Yeah.
PlayStation.
So we had games,
news.
user experiences.
Hardware support and baller news.
What the fuck did they buy?
So
Blue Point.
past
and-
year.
They bought
As in-
Bluepoint, Housemark. They
Well-
bought a bunch of like PC porting. They bought that PC porting
Oh, they
company.
bought that
They also-
animation thing, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
And they shut down a bunch of Sony Japan,
Oh, they
right? Just
fucking
keep
shut
that in
down.
mind.
Yeah, fucking losers.
Yeah, this seems very, very unbiased. This last category.
Yeah, for
We're
sure.
just talking about it. Hey, it doesn't have to be just about acquisitions. It can be just like other news.
Just
they
because
put
the
out.
pandemic hit Japan, fucked up their way of life. Just because America decided to ignore half of it.
All right, list games
Oh,
radar.
no, I
You're
can't think of
missing.
it.
You're missing Deathloop on here. I'm not counting it on PC since.
Kaylan, what is your? Do you have you played on Xbox before? Or is it?
Yeah,
some
so I
other time?
had I missed last gen's Xbox because everybody did, and then
Not me.
I don't have the Series X. I am someone had to keep the lights going on, keep the lights on for the next gen. But
Yeah.
I'm a PlayStation fanboy through and through, and I don't have time. I don't have a lot of time for gaming, so it's pretty much focused on that one console. But I've always been a strong proponent. I think the best thing for a strong Sony is a strong Xbox. So I might be a PlayStation fanboy. I might love it. I mean, I'm coming from a PlayStation themed basement, but I want Xbox to succeed. The type of PlayStation I hate is the arrogant PlayStation, and I feel like Xbox is there to kind of keep them in check.
that they're now.
Yeah, I know it's a dark time right now. They need a little bit of a humbling. So
All right.
Or they can just
All right.
keep making really fucking good games.
oh, I mean,
fine with
once
that.
again, but I mean, let's be honest. Like PlayStation 4 was fantastic, and that is exactly a response to PlayStation 3. Kind of getting its teeth kicked in for the first little while.
Yep.
All right, I'm ready.
I'm just about ready.
I refuse to give a grade to that final category. I just
Yeah.
took notes.
Why don't we just give it to Nintendo, huh? We already know who the winner is. We might as well just throw a curveball.
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Nintendo.
Okay, and I'm just gonna put in my grade for baller news, and then that's gonna be okay. I am ready. And before I just want to say, I made that joke about Nintendo and Gifted. That's not to say people in Gifted are any worse whatsoever, but it's just a whole different category. Like Sony and Microsoft, they're playing a whole different game than Nintendo. Nintendo, they're doing fine on their own. They're killing it. They're number one selling console every month, whatever.
Wait, shit. When you said gifted, I thought you meant like
Like X-Men.
yeah,
Yeah, I thought you meant like they went to like that
like
fancy
superpowers.
arts- They went to like art school or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's what I thought you meant. I thought you meant they were just in a class of their own.
Yeah.
They're in a class of their own, but you
yeah,
know
they
what? No,
technically are.
that was a bad joke. That was a bad joke. No. Anyway, so now that we've all given our individual grades for the individual categories for Xbox and PlayStation, let's all discuss them. So, in the category of games, so I'm assuming first-party games, third-party game support,
Oh, we're considering
anything that's
third
come
party
out
too.
between. Sorry, what'd you say?
We're considering third party too. I was going off first party exclusives.
Oh, I just based it off of exclusive.
Okay, then
Yeah, I did
scratch that.
exclusives too.
Scratch that. So first party games, and obviously we're thinking about everything that's come out between the past year and a quarter or whatever. So as far as games go, I will start off. I gave PlayStation 5 an A. I guess I think all of us are in agreement on that or around that. And I gave Xbox an A minus. I don't know. I think I want to go around and discuss, get everyone's opinions first, and then we'll talk about our collective. So, okay, what are your grades? Kaylan, you start.
So I gave Xbox a B, and I gave PlayStation like B plus kind of. Yeah, B plus.
I'm surprised. Sony Pony here. I'm surprised. Okay.
Hey, I'm a realist. I'll call the shots when I see them.
I'm curious then. Sam, what about you?
I gave Xbox a C. And I gave
Get out of here.
And I gave PlayStation a B.
Okay. Eric.
Yeah, I would kind of go in between both of you. I would put PlayStation at a B plus. I would say a B plus, and Microsoft like a B minus.
I'm surprised I'm the most positive one here. Okay.
They released 2 games, Gaff.
Yo, I'm negative.
Xbox?
Yeah.
Whoa. 2 games. You have
I mean,
Halo, Forza 5. Wasn't 12 minutes an Xbox exclusive? Because that,
We don't talk about
that's,
that
that's
game,
really
alright?
that's really carrying the load there.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that game.
no, and I'm being facetious. Like I know, like they had like a bunch of games. There's like Psychonauts. There's a bunch of like stuff, but like
Well,
let's be
Psychonauts
honest,
isn't even first party.
Well,
Right.
I mean,
it
it's
is now.
Did they buy Double Fine?
Yeah, they bought Double Fine years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh fuck, I didn't know that.
yeah. Like
Isn't
I know
that
they have
game
like, a
on
bunch of games.
PlayStation though?
Yeah, the
don't
game's
think
on
it is.
PlayStation.
Because that's
Psychonauts
Psychonauts
2?
in the works
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah, okay,
It was-
because I've
yeah, it was
seen it on
crowdfunded
on the
first.
PlayStation Store. Okay, so that is a okay. Maybe I
Oh,
need
holy
to
crap,
read.
it is.
All right,
Does that
that game
modify
is
your
not
grade?
that good. That game is not good enough to change my score because they also have The Ascent, which
Well,
is a
hold
terrible
the phone.
game.
Okay, well, yeah,
Bulls. That's bull.
I'll agree with you with that, but Psychonauts is great.
Yeah,
No,
so
it
I-
is.
like
I agree.
So my
but-
logic is that like Xbox had a bunch of games, and so did PlayStation, but like neither of them. So the way I would put it is that Xbox had a bunch of like they had a bunch of games. They had like 12 minutes. They had Halo. They had Flight Sim.
Forza.
I think the Forza.
Yeah.
But like Halo and Halo is good. Like people are liking Halo, but like it's not in the zeitgeist in terms of people screaming about it. I'd say Forza is more in the zeitgeist right now, and it's a racing game, which is speaks volumes as to how good that game is. But none of the other games that Xbox released up until this fall winter really lit the world on fire in terms of people saying, "Oh man, you need to get this. This is it. This is the reason why you have a next gen, Xbox Series X." PlayStation, I felt, had a little bit more of that. You had things like Ratchet and Clank. You had Kena Bridge of Spirits, which like everyone talked about being gorgeous. Returnal, people talked about that for a good long while. But I'd say the problem
Still
with Sony is that like they had games, but they were so far spread out. Like we really didn't have anything for the fall. And I'd say things like Deathloop what's the one I'm thinking? Returnal. Returnal's great, but like Returnal's very niche in terms of who it appeals to. Like even me as a PlayStation fanboy, like I never played it because I don't want to drop $80 to see if Returnal is my kind of game. They brought Death Stranding Director's Cut, they brought Ghost of Tsushima's Director's Cut, but those are PlayStation 4 games that don't count. Deathloop was my game of the year and it was great, but it's an Xbox game. It falls in this weird camp. Like it's a PlayStation exclusive made by Xbox, but like, so I think PlayStation had better games, but they were like that caught more attention. But I don't think that they were like the best showing either. Like Ratchet and Clank was kind of more Ratchet and Clank. I'm trying to think what else.
The best two next gen exclusives, right, or new gen exclusives right now are Astro's Playroom. That was free with the PlayStation 5. That game is amazing. Like a 10 out of 10, perfect little platformer. I love it. And Spider-Man Miles Morales. That game,
yeah.
I will fight to the ends of the earth that game is better than Spider-Man 2018. And I mean, just everything about it.
See, I would argue, I think Deathloop is probably the best game right now on, like, one of the best games for next gen. It just hit me, and I think it does a lot of cool stuff. So for me, like, that's my next gen, but it doesn't really even like show off the graphical fidelity of it. But like I said, neither of them had a particularly strong year, and I think that's a result of the pandemic. I think Microsoft, now, I don't know where we put this, because I would say Microsoft has the better value in the sense that they have Game Pass, and this might come down later in some of the other categories. So they had more games that were accessible, and hey, if you want to go try something experimental, great. Game Pass is great for doing that.
If you want to try 12 minutes?
No, I never tried it.
Good.
No, but I mean, like, they've got a bunch. There was a bunch of games out there. Like, it was something that if you want to try stuff, like, it's good for those small experimentals. So, like, Outer Wilds. Is that the one I'm thinking of? The one that the MMORPG, like the live service one, Outer Worlds or Outer Wilds.
The Outer Worlds is
Outriders. Oh, Outriders. That's what I think it's called.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So
that's
like
a
those
Square
kind of
Enix game.
Yeah. So like it's not exclusive, but it's great for those kind of medium.
Oh, that was on
games.
Game
So,
Pass, wasn't it?
Yeah. So like they do a lot of day and date, which is awesome. But like I'd say
Back for Blood and
Back for Blood, like
Aliens.
they're good, but
yeah, even now, like Rainbow Six Extraction just came out on Game Pass.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, I would have never tried the Ascent or 12 minutes if they weren't on Game Pass. So.
And that's what I'm saying. Like it's a good value, but how many of those games on Game Pass are blowing up and lighting everything on fire? With the exception of those big Microsoft tentpoles, which would have sold great anyways if they weren't on Game Pass.
Yeah, and the thing is, they released those like within 2 weeks, so it just kind of like there was nothing for a while, nothing huge for a while.
You say Halo Infinite didn't take the world by storm.
Did.
I will throw my hat in and say it did. Among my friends are a bunch of hardcore Call of Duty, Valorant nerds. But then Halo came out, and everyone at least tried it, and a few of them even stuck around to stay. One of them, two of them actually, they're about to finish the battle pass, just like me. And because of the shortcomings of Battlefield and Call of Duty Vanguard, I think Halo really took over the shooter space for a good while. I think Halo, and yeah, for all its problems, and there's a ton of problems with Halo multiplayer, like people are still playing it, and people are definitely still talking about it and being very vocal about it because they want the good changes to come. And again, like I'm a subreddit like almost every day, and it might just be because of the people I follow. I know it's rough in there. Because of the people I follow, maybe it's just, I'm seeing a ton of Halo floating around. I think it's definitely back to mainstream culture. And yeah, like you said, Forza. Everyone loves Forza. I don't think anyone will deny that.
Hot Wheels on
Plus,
Leash
I'm
is
throwing.
better. Who said that?
So I'm throwing in Age of Empires and Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Yeah.
And
those are
Psychonauts
PC games. Those are PC games.
But they're Xbox.
They're still Xbox.
Xbox had to make it.
And Flight Simulator is on console now.
No, I'm not disputing that they're not on console, but like no one's loading up Flight Sim to play it on an Xbox. Like the guys who love Flight Sim, they're playing it with their $10,000, flight simulator, cockpit sort of setup with their yokes and joysticks and all that crap. They're not playing on a Series X.
By the way, our guest from last week, Matt, he says that he gave PlayStation a B- and Xbox an A.
Oh,
I don't know if that's games or if that's because
yeah.
then he's asking qualifying questions like, are you guys grading Game Pass versus PS Plus now at all? So that was I think that's like user experience though. So we'll get to that.
Yeah, that's what I put it. That's where I put it was experience.
Yeah.
But-
yeah, I think I'll put it there.
Sam, I'm curious about your C for Xbox games. Can you tell me more about that?
Well, this is like for me, like from my experience,
Yeah.
So like Halo's whatever to me. Like I don't get people's attachment to it. Like good for you guys for loving it. I'm glad you have something to love, but it just doesn't do anything for me. Forza 5's a racing game, doesn't really do anything for me. The only reason that Hot Wheels Unleashed does anything for me is because it's fucking
Yes.
Hot Wheels. So
It's awesome.
and I have nostalgia for that. So yeah, Forza, like whatever. And those are like the two big games. So like, yeah, they're big, and that's why it's not lower than a C, because they did release Halo and Forza, so I couldn't go lower than that because they released two of their biggest franchises. And then I think Age of Empires does help me a little bit, bring it up a little bit. I do love that game. I haven't put as many hours into it as I would like, but then you have games like The Ascent in 12 minutes which were just bad. They were just like The Ascent. There were some good things there, but it just is so poorly optimized. And then 12 minutes, I think I've said enough about how I do not like that.
We all
game.
know what we think about 12 minutes. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, as far as games go, like just games, I just think it has been quite underwhelming. But
I think it's been underwhelming for both consoles, to be honest. Like I don't
but
think
don't worry, I'll be more
either one
positive.
comes out as the dominant winner.
Yeah.
Like it like depends on what you're interested in.
Well, I
Like,
disagree with
it's
that.
definitely subjective.
Well, yeah. I think PlayStation easily wins this still, but
It does, but it barely.
Yeah.
Like it's a marginal victory. It's not like they're coming out like this year where they are with God of War and Horizon. Like this year is going to be a huge year for Sony compared to last year, right?
Eric, do you have anything to add, or have we covered all
I'm
the
mostly in
bases?
agreement with all you guys. I'm just gonna be repeating points at this point. Like from what I saw, like throughout the first year and a half or whatever quarter of the consoles we were at, Microsoft's early, like the first half of the year was pretty weak. Didn't have anything going on there besides Game Pass. And while Game Pass is great, that it really without the exclusives and all the games there, it doesn't really help them out. But then in the second half, when they started putting out those things, like you said, Flight Simulator, like it might be a PC game, but came to Game Pass on Xbox. Well, I forgot what month it was, like August or something,
July.
July or
Maybe.
whatever. But I think that's like when it marked off like the good second half of the year Microsoft was having, because after that they had, I believe, Age of Empires they had then Psychonauts and Age of Empires and then Forza and Halo. And I even though I didn't play Flight Simulator or Age of Empires, I did play Psychonauts, I did play Forza, I did play Halo, and I did have fun there. Meanwhile, on the Sony side, they had, great first half-ish of the year, but then the second half just fell off. They had, Astro's Playroom was great, Miles Morales was great. I didn't play Returnal, so like it was for like the same reasons Kaylan did. I don't know if I want to spend $70 to see if I liked something or not.
it's great, but
And-
it's very hard.
Well, that's the thing that turns like that's dissuading me is like I'm not
Yeah.
into those roguelites, and to play a 6-hour roguelite where I'm
I
not
do-
paying $80 just
yeah.
to find out this is not for me.
Don't blame you.
Yeah,
Don't
exactly.
blame you for that.
And then Ratchet and Clank, while it was fun, it was another Ratchet and Clank game. Like, I feel like all the tech they were talking about didn't really live up to the hype, that everyone was talking about. And then I didn't play Deathloop, so I can't really speak on that either. But I feel like after
You should.
Deathloop, there was nothing for Sony. It was just
You forgot about
a third
Intergrade.
party.
Does that count for
Intergrade.
anything?
Yeah, but that's a DLC for.
Oh, bro, Intergrade? We're counting Intergrade? All right, hey,
don't
Sony
get me
gets an
wrong.
A.
I played Intergrade and I loved it, but
I haven't even
I
fucking
wouldn't count
played
that
it.
as a major release. You know what I mean?
Well, I think the thing that Sony does is for the last couple of years, like Sony doesn't really do fall game releases, I think, anymore. I think they've now set that's for third parties to kind of carry through. Everyone's dropping
Yeah.
their games at that point, so they've stepped out of it. It'll be interesting to see what the Activision and Bethesda acquisitions mean for Sony.
Yeah,
Given
I forgot
that
to mention Demon Souls remake, and while it was great, I kind of feel
yeah.
like it wasn't worth $70 to be honest.
But are we reviewing just 2021, or are we talking about the whole system as a whole?
So yeah, Matt asks in the chat. He said, "Weren't Miles and Astro's Playroom technically 2020? But
I'm
we're
including.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was like,
we're
I don't know, like
including like from the moment that consoles came out to like now, essentially.
Yeah.
So a
that's
little
what I was, like,
over a
thinking
year.
of.
Okay,
But
Year and a quarter.
yeah.
then I'd bump Sony up a bit, but
Yeah, I forgot about Demon Souls as well.
Yeah, because
Okay.
like it was
It's a
good, but
it's a
I feel
remake,
like
you know.
I feel like it was not worth the $70 because it's like a graphics upgrade and that's really it. There's like no new content really.
Okay, so I feel like we've all discussed our opinion on the game. So just to reiterate, because I'm gonna put it into my little calculator, Sam gave it a C. Sam gave Xbox a C. I gave Xbox an A minus. Kaylan, what'd you give Xbox?
I gave it a B.
You gave it a B, and Eric, what'd you give Xbox?
Xbox I give a B minus.
B minus. And okay, I mean, the overall grade for Xbox in terms of games is a B minus. Fine, it's fair. Now let's go around and redo PS5. Sam, what do you give PS5?
For games, B. B.
Kaylan,
B plus.
B plus. Eric,
Yeah, I believe I said a B plus as well.
B plus, and I gave them an A. And they get a B plus.
Oh yeah, also
Okay.
telling that no one talked about Destruction All Stars.
Oh, I forgot to mention that. Fuck, I had that. I had that
Can I
written
change
down.
mine? I need to increase mine.
Yeah, they're making it free to play. Come on. I mean, come on.
Who needs Game Pass when they're just giving away Destruction All Stars?
Oh yeah, Destruction All Stars, Godfall. You
Yeah,
know.
that's true. Like you don't even count You can't count Destruction All Stars against them because didn't that launch on PS Plus?
Yeah, but like before launch, that was gonna be a $70 game,
I know.
and I believe
I
they
can't
priced it
believe
to
they
40.
were ever thinking they were gonna sell it for $70.
It's going free to play now.
Yeah,
Good.
If the rumors are to be true.
I remember like
Yeah.
there were like GameStop bundles including Destruction All Stars, and I was like, that's a bad deal.
So now we're gonna move on to the user experience. So software updates, ease of use, the UI, and all that. Now, personally, I know Sam's a scathing review of Xbox UI, but we'll get to that in a sec. Me personally, I give Xbox an A in terms of user experience. Now, I don't own a PS5. All I can do is judge from what I've seen on my periphery. So I'm giving it, I'll give it a B plus. PS5 B plus, Xbox A. Sam, what about you, man?
As you all know, I hate the Xbox UI with a fucking passion. And I hate it. It's so clunky. It's full of fucking like ads and shit. It's just not smooth for me. That being said, I'm giving Xbox an A in this category
Whoa!
because
Unprecedented.
should I say why yet? You know, I'm going to say why. I don't care what you
I'm
think.
curious. I'm curious.
Because quick resume. Not that I use it very much, but it's there. Cloud saves. Or like saving in general, save transfers in general. Which again, I don't really use, but it's there.
You don't use it because you don't notice it.
Yeah. Smart delivery.
It's automatic.
Yeah, smart
delivery.
Smart delivery. And finally, the big one, the big kahuna, Game Pass.
Game.
You cannot give this an A. Xbox has been very, very good with their user, like in improving the experience as a gamer for their console owners. Now, I'm not counting their fucking PC shit, all right, in this. If I was counting their PC shit, this grade would be so much lower. But I'm only counting like the Xbox itself, and I have a Series S. But yeah, Xbox, I'm giving an A.
Okay.
Wait, do we go PlayStation
Kaylan.
too? Do I need to say PlayStation as well? Because you said PlayStation as well.
Oh yeah, what's your PlayStation grade?
My PlayStation grade is a C.
Whoa.
This is like the opposite of Xbox, so I like the UI a lot. Probably just because I'm used to it, but I think it just flows better as well. But there's very little when it comes to like software and like stuff that's innovative. Like they don't have Game Pass or anything, but they do have PS Plus is good. PS Now is getting better. I think if you look at the PS Plus games compared to the Xbox Gold games, I think PS Plus wins in that category. But
Oh, definitely.
like you don't have Game Pass.
But is
on
Xbox even
PlayStation.
trying anyone
So-
with Game?
No,
I
I
don't
don't. Yeah,
think
they don't
so.
need to.
I
They
don't
don't need to
think so.
try because they have Game Pass. Like it doesn't really matter in the end.
Sony's in a race that the other guy's just like, I'm done. No.
Yeah.
He's just walking the rest of it.
I like the game cards, the little that like help you with like walkthroughs and stuff. They're like one button press away essentially. I use those to get the platinum in Astro's Playroom. There's a couple things I couldn't find.
That's good.
And then
useful for something.
so right now I seem like, you know, I'm positive. But they just don't there's nothing there to compare to Game Pass yet.
Articus.
And also save transfers. I haven't had to deal with them because I just like I don't do that.
Oh, I have.
Just like I haven't like I wouldn't with the Xbox, but I just know that it's apparently atrocious. So
Apparently they
giving that a
fixed
C.
it to be better now, but early on it was not great.
Okay. Kaylan, what are your grades?
So for me, when I'm thinking of experience, I'm thinking of anything that sort of me as the player I am experiencing, just to kind of differentiate this from hardware support. So anything that kind of hinders or enhances my experience with the console. And so for Xbox, I think I'm going to give it an A minus. I haven't had a lot of experience with the UI itself, but from the services that, you know, Xbox does offer, you know, quick resume, that's huge. Game Pass itself, and I'm putting Game Pass in here, like that is an incredible value. I mean, the games may not be, like I said, the games might not be stuff that always light the world on fire, but the fact that they are all there and it gives an opportunity to try new things, that's awesome. So I think Xbox has a lot of cool features and it definitely presents a good value for players. Can't talk about the UI too much because I haven't seen it, but yeah, they have a lot of benefits in the fact that games you plug it in and they work backwards compatibility. Like they've just nailed it that it is simple and it's easy to understand. For PlayStation, I gave them the C+. You know, those tile cards that do help you with trophy hunting are great. It seems inconsistent as to when they help it, when they don't. So I can see this being one of those things that just kind of dries on the grapevine. Hopefully not, but I can see it just being something that, because I think it's just the exclusives so far that do it. I've used it with Astros. I think I used it with Ratchet, and I used it with Sackboy Big Adventure, which is something that we didn't talk about last section, which was really good. But overall, like PlayStation Plus, I'm a subscriber, and I don't know why. I don't play online, and I don't subscribe to the games. I just feel like that's my Sony Pony, membership fee. So like the games don't appeal to me. Like I think I got my like review of PlayStation. I only downloaded 10 of like the 24, so it's like whatever. So like PlayStation Plus needs improvement. They don't have the quick resume, which kind of sucks. The UI in terms of like it takes a little bit of getting used to, but once you have it, it's fine. Like I know how to navigate now pretty easily.
It's a pretty UI.
So it is very pretty. It is a very pretty UI.
There's no themes though.
No.
That just popped in my head, which is really annoying. But
but I kind of like going back to the PlayStation with the themes. I kind of don't like the themes now. I like the fact that whatever game you're on dictates what the theme is, right? Like
see,
I kind of like.
I would like that, but not every game has music to go with their like backdrop, which is really annoying. Like even the Pathless, which is a PlayStation console exclusive. It's on PC, I think. But even that one doesn't have like music to go with the menu. So it's just like the normal PlayStation music with the pathless backdrop, and it's like, come on, like give me something.
Yeah, I think it's something that definitely needs to be improved, and this is why they're only getting a C+. But I turn on my PlayStation 4 and I have the Ghost of Tsushima theme, and I'm like, oh, it's cool. Like, it's a cool theme, but it's weird that it's on like, if I'm going, no matter what game I'm on or application, it's just going on in the background. I kind of like the fact that each game theoretically has its own theme. What really, I think, kind of carries it, and I don't know, maybe you guys put this in hardware support, but I'm putting in experiences. I really liked the DualSense. The DualSense is awesome in terms of its experience.
So
are we putting that in hardware, or are we putting this in experience?
I put that in hardware.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we're gonna do that, then I'll bump mine down. I'll put mine at like a C-.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's fine. PlayStation, like, I'm here to PlayStation just for the games, and the games keep coming, and that's all I need. But yeah, compared to what Xbox has, it's meh.
Eric?
Yeah, this is I would say maybe Xbox. I would give Xbox an A-. I'll say.
Okay.
And that's because
A-.
And so for me, that's because, quick resume's all great. What else? The the saves in general. The cloud saving is automatic. You don't even have to pay gold for it. It's all seamless. The quick resume, or I already said quick resume. The smart delivery, the Game Pass in general. Like, Xbox and the software side have been hitting it out of the park. And I don't know what else to say besides, because you guys already hit on the most major points already. So.
Okay.
In terms
I'll start with you next time, Eric. You're going last.
In terms of the UI, like, I can agree where Sam is at, where it does get confusing and stuff like that, and like the ads on there. But like, as someone who came from the Xbox One, it's just like down natural to me at this point, because it's the same UI between both consoles. Yeah. And so when I turned it on, it didn't have like that wow new factor to it, but I did appreciate how it was the same. Where I'm like, okay,
it was familiar.
So it's familiar. You know where everything is already, and I appreciate that a lot. And quick resume, like, while I really haven't used it a lot because it's just wired in my brain to close the game after I'm done playing, I don't like leave it running in the background. But whenever, that's a great feature to have. And the backwards compatibility, I love it. I guess will we include the enhancements as a software side, because it's technically a hardware thing too, wouldn't it?
You know what?
I put mine in user experience.
Yeah. So I'll just mention it twice, I guess, once now, once later. Backwards compatible games, when they have the enhancements like the resolution increase and the frame rate increase, are great.
Yeah, FPS boost is something else.
Yeah, and while I wish there was more backwards compatible games, unfortunately they discontinued that program apparently. Yeah. What they have there is a nice selection. There could be a bit more, but I enjoy it. And then Game Pass, obviously day one releases, we all know that. Seems to be like third parties are going to be joining on that as well. Ubisoft just had Rainbow Six Extraction free day one. EA Play is on there. While it's not day one on there, you get like free demos on there, like the 10-hour trials, I believe it is.
Yeah, buddy.
So even if it's something you want to try out, you can do it. So if you had Game Pass Ultimate, you could have tried out Battlefield and see how not great it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's that. PlayStation side, I would say maybe C or B. I'm gonna go with the C plus. Well, I do like how the UI is. It's basically like an upgraded version of the PS4s, where it's just all like the horizontal line. I like how the store is integrated directly into the system itself instead of being a separate app, which made it so slow on the PS4.
Yeah.
Everything on the PS4 was so slow.
And that's my problem with the Xbox UI. It's so slow. Yes, it's so slow.
That is a knock against the Xbox UI. I feel like it's not optimized for the Series console properly just yet. Like, they didn't have the 4K UI at launch. While that's not a big deal for me.
I
guess it's for.
I was gonna mention it. I'm giving brownie points to Sony for at least having a 4K HDR UI. Whereas on Xbox, if you have a 4K TV with HDR, every time you switch from your game to the home menu, it flickers black.
It blacks out. Yeah. That's some weird stuff, especially coming from Microsoft, who's a software company. Very, very weird. But I do love how Microsoft, yeah, does have more options for display because you do have like 720, 1080, 1440, 4K, and then you can change how many frames per
1440p,
second you
yep.
want from 60
It's
to
almost like
120.
It's almost like you can tell that one company makes TVs and one makes software.
Yeah.
One's like, yeah, we're familiar with the PC world, and the other half is like, yeah, we know TVs.
Yeah. But then
Yeah.
on the Sony side, like I believe they don't even support 1440p yet. And then Microsoft, they have VR virtual refresh rate, and like
Yeah, we do.
I just got like a new 1440p monitor, or not 1440, 144 hertz monitor with VRR support, and like plug in the Xbox in there. I'm like, yeah, that's great. On PlayStation, it's like, hey, we don't support that. We don't have 1440p. We're just gonna do whatever the console allows us to do, I guess. So it's like there's like some weird stuff on their end. Like Sam was saying, their save data transferring was abysmal in the beginning. Spider-Man, I bought Spider-Man Miles Morales Ultimate Edition, which came with the Spider-Man Remastered, and I could not transfer my save data because I didn't have a copy of Spider-Man PS4, and so I just didn't end up playing Spider-Man Remastered because I didn't want to start the whole game over again. And I don't know if they ever patched in a feature where you still need the game or not, but there's that. Integrate, I had to re-download the PS4 version on my PS5 to upload the save data, then download it, go into PS5 version to download the save data. And there's a lot of mess going on with there. I remember there was some games that couldn't even allow you to transfer your save data, like Yakuza Like a Dragon. I believe you weren't allowed to save transfer over for some reason. Don't know why. But I think now they fixed it for some games. I know Jedi Fallen Order, you just have to have the save data on the console, and then it'll automatically detect it. So I don't know if it's a PlayStation thing or a dev thing. So
Yeah.
either way, is that I know Uncharted, the Legacy Collection, I believe now lets you can just have to have the save data on your console, and it'll detect it.
Yeah.
So they fixed it, but early on it wasn't great. And then even earlier on, smart delivery, there was like a problem going around where people didn't know if they had the PS4 version or the PS5 version.
Yeah, I forgot
There
about
was a lot of stuff
Yeah.
going on around there.
They had to update it so that it would tell you what version you have.
Yeah, I personally didn't
Yeah,
have the problem, but I
God.
know my stepfather he just normally plays Call of Duty. He was playing Call of Duty Cold War, the PS4 version, for the longest time before I had to go check for him to
Yeah.
play the PS5 version. I was like, why is this doing this? Why wouldn't it just download the PS5 version? It was super weird. I'm trying to think of anything else. You know, obviously we're talking about PS Plus and their Game Pass competitor. They need something to compete with that. Spartacus rumors are out there. We'll see how it compares. I don't think it's going to
Kaylan
be
shaking his
honest.
head.
Nope.
I don't think so either.
Oh.
Their backwards compatibility, they need to have PS1, 2, and 3. Again, I don't. Spartacus is weird because they're rumored tier 3s including that, and I'm wondering if you can play your games without having to have that. I'm gonna say no because Sony's weird, and that's gonna be a huge disappointment if you need to pay for Spartacus to be able to play backwards compatible games. So we'll have to see on that, but I think I already said my score was like what? I said C or C plus.
You said for Sony, you said a C plus.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give it to them there. Themes like Sam was talking about, like themes are hit and miss for people, but I like themes. I had like my Persona 5 Platinum theme, and I was like, oh yeah, I get to use it, but then it was
Yeah.
only for like a year because that game released the same year as the PS5. I'm like, oh man. Oh, and one more thing. This is a stupid complaint, but why can't we use DualShock 4s on PS5
Oh my
games?
god, dude.
They're the same layout. I don't understand why
Makes no sense.
you lock that feature out. Why? Because of the triggers and the haptics? Like you don't need that for most of those games is what
Yeah.
I've seen so far.
Yeah.
Why not just have it like Xbox where you can use any Xbox One controller on it? It's just such a weird restriction.
You know what? It makes sense to me. Like, and we can talk about this in the hardware section, but it makes sense to me that you like. It becomes an issue for Sony because I think as more and more the DualSense gets used, it's going to be presenting a problem because it's not just a feature of this feels real, but in some aspects, like the games do have it where I know, like Ratchet and Clank, if you hold down the trigger, it goes to like a machine gun kind of thing, and then if you pull it all the way back, it becomes like a shotgun blast. And I think it becomes really hard for devs to sort of design like, okay, well, we have to remap this out and redesign it. I think it's easier for Sony to just be like, no, this is the way we want you to experience it.
Well,
Is it
I
arrogant? Is it
believe-
stupid? Yeah, but that's arrogant Sony, right?
They also want
I
to
bel-
sell their hardware.
Yeah,
100%.
I believe a lot of those games allow you to disable those features, though. Is the thing.
Do
So
they?
I don't know why wouldn't they just like port that over to the DualShock 4? Like for
Mhm.
example, me and Sam are playing Overcooked All You Can Eat Edition on PS5. Since it's a PS5 version game, for some weird reason you can't use a DualShock on it, even though they were PS4 games.
Absolutely.
It's a weird
Yeah.
restriction.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of controllers, we can move on to hardware. But first, I'll just say Xbox, they got an A- in this category. Sony with a C+. So the two titans they're going blow for blow.
Also, well, I want to call it one more thing.
Uh,
Their external hard drive support, they didn't have it at launch.
well,
They,
I guess you can kind of factor that into hardware.
yeah, I guess so. It just,
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay, Eric, since you're already here, what are your hardware grades for?
All right,
Xbox
this
and
is
Sony?
honestly the hardest one for me because both consoles, hardware wise, are like top notch. And just because like their SSD, the speed, the CPU, all that stuff. On the Xbox side, as someone who came from an OG Xbox One and who like bought it back in 2015 for Halo, and then really didn't touch it until like the last 2 years, you can definitely tell that console was fucking slow. That
I
thing
know,
took
man.
forever to load
I
up.
know.
And then going from an OG Xbox One to a Series S, my mind was fucking blown on how everything was like so quick. Just like loading into like, for example, Destiny 2. On Game Pass, they had all the expansions, so I was playing it on Game Pass for the longest time, but it would take forever to load into the game, forever to open up the menus and stuff like that. When I first downloaded it on the Series S, and this was before they did the next gen enhancements, you can instantly tell how fast everything loaded. While there was no 60 frames per second because they didn't patch it in, just the loading times itself made a huge difference. Like these consoles, they load so fast. Like
I know.
the PS5, the Uncharted collections that just came out. Apparently, like the original games on the PS5 itself were like 30 seconds or whatever. The remastered PS5 optimized versions like 2 seconds. I'm just like, holy shit! These load times are fucking instant, and I'm fucking loving it. 60 frames per second gaming. I can't go back to fucking. Well, 30 frames. I'm okay with, but if you give me a choice between resolution and frame rate, I'm like, I'm going frame rate. Frame rate is my preferred way to play, and I'm so glad that all these games are giving you the options for it. Just the hardware side is such a huge improvement for both consoles. In terms of my grading, I have a lot more to say, but in terms of my grading, I think I'm just gonna give both A minus because there are some small things here and there that I do want to nitpick. The Series S is a great console at the price point, but like 512 gigabytes, they should have gave us a terabyte, especially since it's an all digital console. And
Yep.
even then, it's not even really 512 because they factor in like the OS and like quicker zoom takes up a portion of the hard drive, so it's really like 306, and that's not a lot. I had to buy an external hard drive to be able to store stuff off of it, and like a lot of the games now are requiring me to store it inside the internal, and I'm getting worried about if I'm gonna run out of space soon. And so Microsoft, if you do like a Series S refresh, make it 1 terabyte. It has to be. I don't know why you shipped it with 512 in the year of 2021 when it launched, or like 2020 when it launched at 512, because that is not enough. And then the Sony side, like external hard drive support wasn't there. Oh, what happened to my screen? That was weird.
You're good.
Yeah. External hard drive support was pretty poor at launch. You couldn't store PS5 games on an external hard drive, even though you could on the Series X and S. And that's what I did for a lot of my games on there. Their NVMe drives didn't launch until like early this year. And even then, I feel like a lot of them are like too expensive. But that just comes with the hardware, I guess. Trying to think of anything else. I think that's really, like I said, the hardware on these two is like pretty incredible. The DualSense, I know you guys will talk into it. I like it a lot, but it's not really game breaking for me personally. A lot of the games I've tried, I haven't felt it much in besides Ratchet and Clank. And Call of Duty, I guess so too. But like, I'm not really a big Call of Duty player. I just bought it like to test out the haptics, to be honest. Well, that, and I needed a game like when the PS5 launched, so there was that. On the PS4 side, on the PlayStation side, their backwards compatibility, like I said, needs work. There's like really not much enhancements on PS4 games unless they specifically patch it for the game. I know on the Microsoft side, Microsoft themselves mostly do a lot of the work on that. And that's that. I like how quiet both the systems are. The PS4 Pro was a fucking jet engine. Like if you
Xbox
guys
is quiet. Yeah.
Yeah, if any of you guys had that, like the PS4 Pro was loud. That was
Oh,
a
yeah.
loud boy. But otherwise, I think that's really it for me.
Okay.
Microsoft should their controllers. They should really take inspiration on
Oh.
the DualSense. I should say that and the battery pack. I mean, I like the choice, but like you should include if you're gonna give a choice, maybe at least put a play and charge kit in each system.
All
Like,
right.
I think at this point it's time to just like give people a rechargeable battery instead of
Yeah.
making them pay for it separately.
I'm gonna hop off of that because I think from a hardware standpoint, I think they're pretty equal. I think what sets them apart is the controller, and that's why I'm giving, because I'm not doing any of this plus minus bullshit. I'm making definitive decisions here. I'm going to give PlayStation an A and Xbox a B because I think the
Because of that
DualSense.
controller.
Yes, because of the controller. Because
Okay.
I think the DualSense is amazing. Astro's
Well-
just playing Astro's Playroom. I was like, holy shit, this is fucking sick as hell. And then Returnal, it's really well implemented. Ratchet and Clank uses it. I think Deathloop uses it. It's just an amazing controller. And then you also don't have to fucking put AA batteries into it, which is just. What year is Xbox living in that they
I like-
are still using AA batteries? Are you fucking
can-
kidding me?
But you can buy a play and charge kit.
See, but that's the thing. That
exactly.
That
I have to
be
buy it
separate.
separately. Why? That should come with it. I have
like
it
that they give
because
you
I
the
bought it
option.
now because I was sick of getting up during my play sessions having to fucking go waste a bunch of AA batteries.
I like that they give you the option for it, but like they should give you a play and charge kit in the console
For free.
for free.
And
Yes.
It's not
Matt
free.
in chat makes a good point. He
not.
says the haptic feedback in Returnal was the first thing that really felt next gen to me, and I agree with that. Like the haptic feedback is, of all these things that we've talked about today, I think the haptic feedback is the one thing that really feels next gen.
Yeah.
And I like innovation. Like I think that's cool. I hope Xbox makes a controller with it that doesn't cost fucking $400 because it's got Halo Master Chief Boy skin or whatever the
Right.
fuck.
I was gonna mention that.
Yeah. I just have two more things with the DualSense. One, I like that it has a built-in mute button for your headsets. I love it. But secondly,
Oh yeah.
what's with Sony and the freaking battery life of the controllers? The PS4 controller had a terrible battery life. This one's not really that much better.
I don't even have a problem with that.
Yeah, I'm not
Really?
having a problem with that either.
See, people always complain about the DualShock 4 battery life. I never had a problem. I guess it's because like I had
No, that one had a
I
problem.
had the charging dock.
Yeah, same.
So like when I would play, I would just put like, or when I wasn't playing, it would be in there charging. So like it always had full battery when I went to play. And like now I just, I'm always putting my PlayStation in rest mode. So I just have my controller plugged in, charging while it's doing that.
Oh,
So I've
yeah,
never had a
another
problem
thing
with that. But
Another thing I forgot to mention, I do like how there's a USB-C port in the front of the PlayStation.
oh yeah, I did want to mention that. Yeah. Wait, well Xbox has that, right?
No, they just have USB-A's all around.
I think for
Huh?
the console, Xbox has a USB, not USB-C, but
Oh,
it does have
on the
USB-C.
console.
Yeah, like an actual
Okay.
USB-C port.
Yeah.
Because
okay.
I bought like a USB-C to C cable, and that's just my charging cable now.
Yeah.
It saves up the USB-A cable in the front for like, I don't know, a headset dongle or something.
Yeah, but I do like that both controllers moved to USB-C. Yeah, that's a big move because fuck the micro USBs. Those things suck ass.
Yeah.
Well, the battery pack I got from my Xbox controller still uses micro, so I have to use that. Yeah,
Boo.
boo.
Just use some double A's.
Nah, I'd rather not use double A's.
Rechargeable double A's.
I have two battery
Yeah, let's put an
packs, there we
extra
go.
step into this.
Yeah. But USB-C
Kaylan.
is definitely the way to go.
Give your grades. I just gotta run for less than a minute, but keep talking.
Yeah, no problem. I can do that. So for me, like I got rid of all that the internal components, the RAMs, the microprocessors, all that crap. I don't care. They're pretty much the same
Yeah.
across the board. They're not distinguishing in any sense. Xbox, I find, a couple weird options in terms of, the AA batteries. I don't have the Xbox, so I'm not going to go too much into this. But from what I'm hearing, I think it's really cool that they have two tiers. There's the Xbox Series S if you just want to get in, and if you just want to use Game Pass, that's awesome having that two choice, and then having that premium model with the Series X. But they're standard consoles. You get what you get. So for them, I gave them I'm going to take the coward's way out. I'll give them a B. I won't take the coward's way out this time. And then PlayStation, I find, just does a lot more. So I think the DualSense is the biggest, game changer. We're kind of getting a diminishing returns in terms of graphics and all that kind of stuff for next gen. I think that's kind of hitting a peak in terms of where we can go from there. But I think the DualSense does bring a new level of immersion. Having that built-in speaker, having in that mute button, the dual, what the heck do they call it? Dynamic feedback or whatever it is. Those things are all awesome. Haptic feedback. Thank you. Like that all brings a new level of immersion. Even having that 3D audio, I think really kind of makes it next level. Like I've got a pair of the Pulse headphones and those sound great. Even just having the mic built in.
3D audio. Does Xbox not have that too? Is it not just surround sound? Keep in mind, Xbox has Dolby Atmos support as well.
Xbox has Dolby Atmos, and PlayStation has their own.
Yeah, it's like
their own thing called Tempest. I think
it is. Yeah,
Tempest audio. Yeah,
but it's really cool. Like I have the headphones on, and even with just my surround sound system here, like it sounds great. And it's something that I know they advertise heavily. They put a lot of effort into it, and it shows. I can't speak to what Xbox does there, but I think it's really cool what they did there. The other thing I like about the PlayStation is the customization that you're now getting. So we're coming full back and ripping off, the Xbox 360, and we're getting face coverings and face plates and stuff. And I think the fact that those are now coming in is really cool. I'm excited to see where they go in terms of doing collector's editions and that kind of stuff.
Along those lines with customization, I think Xbox, the design lab is really cool.
The design lab is cool.
I'll probably the next time I'm looking for an Xbox controller, I'm probably going to design my own on there. So
yeah,
I wish Sony had something like that.
I wish Sony would do that too. So I think Xbox is delivering a great option, but I feel like there's more unique. Hey, check this out. Xbox is great and it does what it does great in terms of offering a service, but I think Sony does a lot of stuff that's like, hey, check this out, and like you want to show it off to someone who can't do it, and especially with like PSVR 2 coming out. And I'm not putting that into the grade, but I think Sony's just doing more in terms of what it's offering from a hardware perspective. And this is once again not getting into the whole RAMs and hard drives and all that crap.
Yeah. I did forget to mention something about the hard drive. In terms of like the SSD expandability on both consoles, I like how Sony does let you have the options to go buy whichever compatible stick there is, while Xbox, you have to buy these expensive ass sticks if you want to have like more. If you want to have like the faster internal storage type of speeds.
Yep. Think of how easy it is to install it though.
Yeah, but they're like fucking $215 or something like that for like the 1 terabyte. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but I made this joke in the past to Sam. Hold tool to install a PS5 SSD, whereas Xbox just
you need a screwdriver, bro. people are making such a big deal about like the stand having a screw. It's like fuck off.
Right,
like it's not that complicated.
I kind of wish that we didn't need a stand for our console. You know what I mean?
Because it's so big and fat and heavy.
Yeah, awesome. I like the design. I think it looks cool.
I grew on it, but I hate how big it is.
Wait. So
it's beefy.
I missed your initial grade. So what were the grades you gave?
PlayStation got an A. Xbox got a B.
Okay.
Yeah. In terms of hardware, I am interested to see like what the revisions will look like later on down the line. Because that PlayStation needs a little slimming.
What are you talking about? It's beautiful.
The Series S is the perfect size, bro. The Series S is so small.
The Series S is nice. The Series S is nice as well. But no, I can't wait to get like a God of War faceplate or some shit.
Yep.
I mean, Uncharted faceplate would be sick too. Like, Sony drop one of those with the Legacy collection. That'd be pretty cool,
Yeah. I like how like you can like remove the faceplates and customize them, but like I just still can't get over how big it is. It reminds me of the PS3 Fat. Like that thing was a chonker.
hard
You
to
didn't
see.
like the PS3
this is-
fat? I mean, come on.
No, I didn't. The
George
second
Foreman?
revision, the George Foreman.
What about the
is-
PlayStation 2?
The PS2 fat is iconic. All right, that one
Hell
I
yeah.
like a lot. Both of the PS2
Pretty
revisions
big,
are
but-
great, the slim and
yeah.
the big. But when I think of the PS3, I think of the PS3 Slim.
Yeah,
That
fair
second
enough.
revision model where they did, I
Mhm.
like it a lot.
That's the one I have. So
Yeah.
So I'm with you on everything you did. I gave Xbox an A-. I gave Xbox. Damn, did I give it a B? Should I revise that?
No,
I
you,
don't know.
you already played it.
All right, Xbox B.
Card played.
PS5
Wow.
A plus. Oh boy.
A plus. Whoa!
Oh,
I didn't know we were doing
Okay,
A pluses.
I don't know. I
Because
would just-
I think I was thinking like, yeah, PS5 it does look because the DualSense is pretty like premium. It does look and feel nice with all the haptics and whatnot. And I guess the white and black color scheme. What was I thinking? Why did I give it an A plus?
Yeah,
But
the
I'll
color
ju-
scheme I was like kind of negative on when they first showed it out. I was like, oh, white and black only? Like, what happened to my black consoles? But now almost all my consoles are white and black. The freaking
Okay.
Series S and the PS5
Bro.
now.
Bro, I love the white and black. Like I was looking at the new like faceplate colors. I was like, do any of these look good? And I'm like, no, they don't look as good as the white and black. It just looks so
Yeah.
clean.
It was just weird because I had all my consoles black at the time, but now
Yeah.
I'm like digging the white
The-
and black.
The only thing I wish is that the PlayStation logo had like the colors like it did on the PlayStation
even like
2.
blue, just like the.
Yeah.
I wish there was like a little bit more of that
Yeah.
PlayStation blue in there.
Yeah.
I wish you could customize the lighting as well, but
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
So I was also gonna give a shout out to the replaceable plates and all the colors. I think the red looks dope on pictures.
Yeah, that was the one I was closest to like maybe buying was the red.
It's a
But
little too magenta, for like purplish for me. Like it's got the hint in there, and I'm like, nah, not enough for me to pull. I need that magma red kind of thing.
Oh, nice. Xbox though, Design Lab, hard to beat. You can make a controller to your heart's content,
Yep.
and I will give a shout out because they're the only ones that made a special edition console so far. For
It's been like a year and a half. Give them time. They can't even make PlayStation 5s right now.
they
Well,
probably
they
will-
got it. Okay,
The thing is, are
Don't-
they gonna make special edition consoles? It's just gonna be the faceplates.
that's the question. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
hopefully.
So, oh yeah, and okay, I do like the Xbox controller. If you asked me last gen, I thought Xbox One controller beat the DualShock 4. No question. Maybe we can debate about that some other time.
I just don't like the X.
DualSense though, yeah. Shout out to innovation. Props to you. I'll give you that win. My score, now I think about it, might be a little nonsense. I don't know if PS5 is an A plus. I don't know if Xbox is a B, but it is what it is.
I don't know.
Wow.
Just- when I think about like the future like consoles, I don't know where they can go because like these ones feel perfect as they are.
Neural implants.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the next step.
There's the answer.
And okay, fine. Yes, no one gave this Final Cut any serious thought, so I'll just quickly bullshit about it. Listen, shout out to Xbox and their big wallets. Okay,
They're baller.
they made
news.
the biggest headlines. They're the biggest headlines of gaming in this generation alone. Okay, Bethesda and Activision.
When we're talking about news as well, I do want to shout out. So obviously acquisitions, whether they're good or bad, for both. But also PlayStation VR is on the horizon.
PSVR,
And-
and the idea of the Horizon VR game is really cool too.
Yeah, I just think it's cool that PlayStation is supporting VR and trying to push it forward. So
Which Xbox is, and I think they have plans
I
to.
wish
so.
they were. Yeah.
But yeah, it's good that Sony's pushing VR to the more consumer-friendly level. So you don't need a massive PC and all these towers to play VR. Good for them. So in the end, for hardware, it looks like Xbox gets a B, and Sony gets a A. Now, I'm just gonna very quickly the grades. Please fill the air for me as I do that.
VR though, wait. Jacob's making fucking Ready Player One jokes in the chat.
Hey, we got the metaverse and now we got the VR headset. We're getting
Oh
there.
God.
We're getting there, guys.
Now, I want to throw out a future hardware question. Probably a stupid one, but do you guys ever think Sony will ever head back to the portable market? Probably
No.
not, right?
No,
But
I think like the,
I think they would want to focus on VR, you know, push that forward opposed to trying to get into another hardware market.
I think with the way that streaming is going, I think it's going to be that your phones are going to be what you do, and I think it's
Yeah.
more there'll be a peripheral kind of like, and we've seen those already that like for iPhones and stuff where you can kind of just use your phone as the streaming service. But I don't think because then you start splitting up your resources, and that now you have like this is the problem that the Vita had is that you have to get studios now making both, you know, console games and portable games, and either you're splitting your resources or you're not, you know, supporting the one, and then becomes an issue. So I think it's gonna be just more streaming like a Game Pass kind of thing, but to your phone.
Yeah, I agree. But I kind of wish there was another handheld because
Oh, me
Nintendo,
too. Me too.
I just want to lay in bed and play some games because, like,
Steam Deck,
for-
dude.
sure, I just gotta wait, you know, like 2 years for a pre-order.
Yeah.
So, after tallying up all the grades, we can safely say that for this academic term, both PlayStation and Xbox B, which for many students would be perfectly happy with.
It's not med
I
school
know
grades
for a
though.
fact my parents would not be happy with the B. I'll
Yeah,
tell you
you're not
that.
getting a med school with those grades consoles. Come on.
Yeah.
It turns out
Right.
that my scores for both of them were B's. So
All right.
I was right on the money.
So I guess what we can take away from this is that both companies, they're good. Keep doing what you're doing, but do better. We know you got potential, and you
Yeah.
got a few years to do it. Show us what you got, because you know.
So I guess like if we're doing the report card, like we're doing the assignment's going to be being like, what kind of sticker are they getting? Like, do they get the smiley face sticker? Do they get the star sticker?
They get
Or do they just get like the you
I
did
also
it?
get-
Like
they got a thumbs up.
you did it.
You did it.
I'm gonna give a PlayStation. I'll give them a gold star, and then I'll give Xbox the thumbs up. You did it.
A demerit.
Oh.
No, because they did it. Like they came
That's
out.
true.
Like I think
That's
Sony
true.
Sony
They
just had
don't-
to keep
they
doing
don't
what
de-
they're doing. Sony
they
had
don't
to
deserve
actually
a demerit.
improve. Like
Because
you know,
Sony's a teacher's pet. They're
I'm gonna
giving you
put
an
like,
apple
in
on
my
your desk
comments,
every morning.
Nice to see improvement. So like, good work.
Oh man. But real talk, I do enjoy how Microsoft is doing well so far because Sony needed the competition.
It's true.
Yeah,
The fact that they're both the same letter grade is pretty
good.
impressive considering where
I
they're
think
at
that's
last gen.
Yeah, I mean, this is all scientific stuff right here. So
Yeah, this is exactly like the exact measurement of how well they're doing is our
The leading authority.
I'm pretty sure like the heads of Sony and Xbox are just going like they've been holding their breath.
Oh, we passed.
Okay,
They're not getting
so
the
thank
scholarship
you.
though.
No,
No. They're gonna have to take a student loan and pay off upon graduating.
yeah.
So that wraps up our episode of X Interact for this week. We talked about the two gaming companies. We talked about their performances this past year, and we graded them. Talked about what we've been playing, and we've all been playing a bunch of great games. Before we go, Kaylan, why don't you tell us what you got going on your side?
Yeah, so if you guys like this and you guys want to hear more of my annoying banter, you guys can check me out along with my co-host Adam at PixelPlay Podcast. We host a weekly gaming podcast where we go over all the news, rumors, and discussions from that week in gaming. So if you are busy and you just want to kind of get in and get out and know what's going on in gaming for any particular time, check us out. We can be found wherever you get your podcasts or on YouTube by searching for PixelPlay Podcast. Sometimes it's a little wonky. Search PixelPlay Podcast or PixelPlay, all one word. We're also wherever you find us on socials. Just search for Pixel Play Cast. Yeah, it's been great having me here, guys. I really appreciate it. This has been a lot of fun, and hopefully we can do it again sometime.
Please come again
I concur.
anytime. And as
Yeah, it
for
was really
us,
fun today.
for anyone listening, please follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Extra Interact. listen to our podcast on all your major podcast feeds. So subscribe to our YouTube channel, X Interact. We're putting out these things every week. We're putting out shorts. We're trying to do that every week. And I guess that's it. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it. See you next week. Until then, we have been Gaff, Eric, Sam, and Kaylan. Goodbye.